What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with RK Outpost, and the past year has not been very kind to Disney's bottom line, between theme parks either not being open or extremely limited capacity, to these massive big budget movies not being able to be put out in theaters and instead going direct to streaming on Disney Plus. And a lot of those things audiences aren't very receptive to because it's full of identity politics. It is not a good recipe for Disney and for the money that they're bringing in. And in fact, the revenue continues to drop by the hundreds of millions of dollars. And a big factor in that is the fact that Disney Plus growth has completely stalled and slowed down. I wonder if that has anything to do with, I don't know, maybe you firing Gina Carano. Maybe the reason that it's not growing as much as you thought is because you had so many cancellations. That's why you came millions short on your target goals for Disney Plus. And that's why we have this massive drop in stock. Take a look at this Bounding in a Comics article. Disney revenues dropped by over $600 million in the second quarter, and that's pretty crazy. I think a lot of this is due to Disney Plus and the fact that they really expected that they were going to be continuing that momentum that they built off of these things instead of slowing to a halt, because the things that they put out, let's just be real, WandaVision was a dud, Falcon and Winter Soldier was a dud in the grand scheme of things. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier was really over the top with the identity politics and social justice messaging, and I don't think people really enjoyed it that much. I think people were very much out on that. You can claim all these different things you want, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't really seem like people were interested, and the numbers go to prove that. Disney revenues dropped by over $600 million in the second quarter. The Walt Disney Company recently released their second quarter earnings for fiscal year 2021, and they revealed the revenue dropped by almost $600 million compared to the first quarter. Of course, this is fiscal year, right? So the first quarter would be from October through December. This one would be from, obviously, January through the end of March. Now, the first couple episodes of Falcon and Winter Soldier dropped at the end of March, so that would be playing a factor. Obviously, WandaVision also played a factor, but things that have happened in April and May, that would not be factoring in to this report, so that's just something to keep in mind. Disney CEO Bob Chapek prefaced the report by saying, "We're pleased to see more encouraging signs of recovery across our businesses, and we remain focused on ramping up our operations while also fueling long-term growth for the company." And of course, we know, what's Bob Chapek going to say? Yeah, we're really disappointed with everything we've seen, but please don't sell our stock. What's he going to say? Of course he's going to say this. This is his job. He added, "This is clearly reflected in the reopening of our theme parks and resorts, increased production at our studios, continued success of our streaming services, and the expansion of unrivaled portfolio of multi-year sports rights deals for ESPN and ESPN+. At the end of the first quarter, Disney reported they earned revenue totaling $16.249 billion, with $12 million of that coming from media and entertainment and $3.5 from Disney parks. In contrast, the recently released Disney quarter numbers detail their total revenue for the quarter dropped to $15.6 billion. Disney Media Entertainment had a revenue of $12.4 billion, so that did decrease as well as a decrease in the parks. That means Disney's revenues decreased $636 million in the second quarter. Not only did they decline from that, but they declined over $2.4 billion from the second quarter of 2020. Now, you can't really hold that against them because when the parks aren't open, when the movie theaters aren't open, or at least not very open, that I don't think you can really be like, wow, look at what Disney's doing, they're so woke. I think you really have to dig deeper into the numbers than that when you can say these are the things that Disney's doing badly. While Disney's revenues overall declined, they did see gains in their direct-to-consumer segment, which includes Disney Plus. Here is where it gets interesting. Here is where I think we get to see some of the Gina Carano backlash. All those people that unsubscribed from Disney Plus, that did not renew their Disney Plus subscription, that were out after the way they treated her. Because again, that happened in the second quarter. That happened in February, right at the same time that things like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier are coming out that people just clearly were not interested in. The first quarter posted revenue of $3.5 billion. Second quarter did increase to nearly $4 billion. Specifically for Disney Plus, they reported that subscribers increased to 1.36 million at the end of the second quarter. However, that is well below their expectations, what everyone thought they would do, what Disney's internal thought, what they thought that they would do. They came 6 million subscribers short of that. Their growth has completely stalled out to a crawl at this point. Now, they are gaining subscribers. You can't deny that. But you also have to look at this as a pretty bad thing when you consider the things that they put out during this quarter that should have gained them all these subscribers. The MCU stuff, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But instead, they see very, very disappointing numbers. I think, personally, a lot of that has to do with the Gina Carano backlash. The fact that you had a lot of these people that were all in on The Mandalorian Season 2, and then that's the way that they decide to treat her. I know some people subscribed annually in October. They can't even cancel their Disney Plus until next October. I'll be interested to see how many of those people stick around if you don't bring back Gina Carano. While they did increase numbers, albeit at a slower rate, they also had a decrease in the average monthly revenue paid per subscriber. That's weird because they also upped their package deal from $6.99 to $7.99. So does that mean that there's a lot of free subscriptions that you gave out? Is that what that means, Disney? Is that your desperate way to continue the sub growth? What exactly is going on? How do you have that many more subscribers, yet it's a lower rate per person? Something doesn't quite add up there, does it? Following their second quarter results, Disney's stock has declined almost 4%. As of writing, currently sits at 171.80 and 80 cents per share. It rebounded slightly after that. You can see this is the earnings report. Boom, boom, and it rebounded a little bit like these things typically do. At the end of the day, a quarterly earnings report is probably not going to affect the overall long-term price of this stock. But you can see it was pretty high back in March, and then it's very, very slowly gone down, including this big drop with that second quarter earnings. But I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to look at it a little bit because obviously, with the theme parks down, with the movie theaters down, it's been kind of a struggle for these big, massive corporations like Disney. Are they actually losing money? Probably not, but it's damn close. It is damn close. They're having to cut a lot of costs. According to them, they barely made a profit, barely cracked even in the first quarter. It was much better than that because they cut a lot of costs in the second quarter. But, it's funny to see these companies that put such a focus on virtue signaling and identity politics and have that kind of backfire on them. I think that's a major reason why people weren't as interested in these MCU shows as they should have been. Falcon and Winter Soldier was woke as shit. I don't know how you can watch that and not feel like you're just being preached to about racial politics the entire time. But let me know your thoughts about all this in the comments below, included why do you think the Disney Plus subscription slowed? Why do you think they had such a problem there meeting their goals? Let me know. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.